Welcome back, Tribe. I have an episode here that says what the rise of fake job listings say about the job market. Get ready to pull yourself up by Bootstraps. But wait, the straps can't be pulled because the jobs are fake.
Meet John Doe, 20s, eager to jump. He sees a job listing that looks perfect to him. So he brushes up his resume, he writes an awesome cover letter, applies, and then waits and waits. So after a month or so, he actually sees the same job post.
Wait harder, bro. Apply more.
Realistic, which makes him super frustrated. John isn't alone. Many people are frustrated by applying to these kinds of jobs that seem to have no intention of hiring anyone.
If you are in the position of trying to find a new job, of course, you don't want to waste your time applying for these ghost jobs.
But it turns out all those open job postings that you see online might not even be real.
Ghost jobs are a phenomenon that have existed for a long time, but they've come to light much more in recent years, and they've become much more of a significant issue in the job market.
4 in 10 companies posted fake job listings in 2024.
Damn.
3 in 10 are currently advertising for a role that isn't real, according to a May survey.
I wonder why, dude. They tell us that the economy's going fine, that there's too many jobs available, that they don't have enough people. Why would companies do this? Come on, guys, just work. It's so competitive out, so they could keep the prices low. So they could pretend they're always looking and bring in more cheap labor. You're being gaslit and being told that the economy is doing far better than you could ever think possible. You're lazy, bro. You don't want to work. Boomers just looking down and being like, oh, look at all these jobs available. These kids, they're just so damn lazy. They don't want to work. I wonder if they're going to get into why companies do this. Let's see.
Survey from Resume Builder.
The rise of ghost job posting definitely points to a cooling in the economy. We are seeing that employers are more hesitant to make that hire, and it just points to the fact that demand for talent is slowing down.
Here's why ghost jobs are on the rise.
Ghost jobs are actually not scams. They're from real companies, but they are openings that don't actually exist. That company is not actually hiring for that role at this moment in time.
That's a scam. That's a scam.
They might be interested in hiring for that role in the future, or maybe they were hiring for it, but due to budget cuts, those roles were closed or put on hold.
A ghost job is essentially a job that remains open online and never gets filled. The occurrence of ghost jobs has increased quite dramatically over the past 5 years. We're seeing a decline in the rate of hires to job postings, and that rate has basically halved over the past 5 years. So whereas in 2019, we saw 8 hires per 10 job postings, we are now seeing 4 hires per 10 job postings, which of course is quite a dramatic drop. This is a pretty worrying development because it just softens the signal of what a job posting really means and whether there is truly a hiring intention behind that from the employer point of view.
I think we're seeing a lot of ghost jobs lately for the same reason that I think a lot of people keep their Tinder profiles up, even if they're not actively looking for a relationship. It's because we like to keep our options open for, whether it's a good or a bad thing. Companies are no different. Companies know that talent is not always available when they are ready to hire. So they want to be able to attract applications from potentially great candidates, even if they're not right now able to give that person a job.
Because of market visibility, if they are regularly listing their job openings, that will enhance the company's image, potentially showing them as a
lying. So they're lying, showing them as potentially growing, as a bright place for working in the future, as a company that's expanding. Look at all this talent they need to hire. 40 positions open for company. Bro, they can't afford to pay one guy. That's a scam.
Growing and thriving organization. And maybe that's a signal to investors or clients or competitors that their company is expanding. The brand perception.
Market research. Some companies, they have no idea what is a salary, what are the skill sets in demand. So they probably are posting to get that data. What are you expecting as a salary if you want to be in that role in this industry? So that's why they're collecting those data so that they can build a total compensation package and build the key performance indicator and net promoter score.
Key performance indicators. I hate all this fluff corporate talk. Fucking scam, bro. Companies should be fined for doing shit like this. This is a scam. This is lying.
It's for the companies if they really don't know how the recruiting works. So maybe it's for market insights to go into the future, but that does not benefit the job seekers at all. That's such a bad employer branding.
The U.S. job market significantly slowed in July 2024. However, if you look at the overall labor market, it's still healthy.
It's no question this report came in cooler than expected, but over the past 3 months, payrolls are up 170,000. That's certainly a good enough clip to keep the labor market healthy.
According to June's Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey, commonly known as JOLTS, the number of unemployed persons per job opening stands at 0.8, indicating a tight labor market.
Job openings and labor turnover, known as JOLTS. JOLTS coming in near expectations, 8,184,000. Actually, that's better than expectations.
Despite a tight labor market on paper, many workers are still struggling to find jobs, indicating a disconnect between the data and the real-life experiences of job seekers.
Exactly. And this is the main part of this issue. The numbers they keep feeding us, the inflation, the jobs data, the housing market, it's all bullshit. Every ordinary American working day to day can tell you that what they're saying isn't true. It costs more to go to the grocery store. You've been priced out of your house, and every job you're applying to doesn't seem to fucking want to call you back, despite being well positioned for a lot of those applications, having the credentials needed in the work experience. It's bullshit. I have a feeling that once Orange Man gets elected, it's looking highly likely that we're going to enter an economic recession / depression. There's some funny stuff going on with the Treasury, the bond market, and the Federal Reserve, and it's not looking good. If you're paying attention or managing investments, you're seeing the gold alone has reached all-time highs and steadily climbing. We've got kind of nutty downward revisions on, say, the jobs that they were just quoting, over 1 million plus not too long ago. So even Wall Street doesn't trust the numbers the government's putting out, and the investors have spoken. Interest rates for homes have creeped above 7% yet again, despite a 50-point basis cut. That means investors think the Fed has lost control, but that may be a politically motivated move. Based on some people that are much smarter than me have said that as far as the Fed's plans to drive this economy into a soft landing and control inflation and cradle the jobs market, they are following a protocol that does not quite make sense given their history and the intent they have spoken at all their meetings. Why would they do this? I don't know. Before something major is about to happen in America, what happens when they take their foot off that gas or put their foot on that pedal and switch the direction of the economy in a certain way after someone gets elected? There's some very weird shit going on here. I don't want to sound like a conspiracy nut, but just picture this for me. Once Orange Man gets elected, let's just say if he gets elected, watch bad economic data dominate the headline shortly after. If that were to happen, just know the hard times that are coming was all planned. That's all I'm saying.
The rise of ghost jobs is muddying the jobs report. It's making it harder for the Fed to make decisions and understand what the labor market looks like. Anecdotally, people will tell you that it's very tough out there. We've talked about this notion of unhirables. People who are out of work, got laid off, and just can't find a job. They can't buy an interview. There are people coming out of college and they're finding that they're putting out 500, 800, 1,000 applications and they can't get an interview, let alone a job. And yet, when you look at the base numbers on the job boards, it would seem like we're in an incredibly robust hiring and that ghost jobs are creating a fake perception. And no one knows how fake that perception is. And the Fed and economists are trying to understand what's real and what isn't. And they haven't yet figured out a silver bullet.
Over the past decade, JOLTS shows a marked increase in job openings for any given level of unemployment. And this is making people think, oh, well, maybe these openings aren't real openings. I would push back against that a little bit, because JOLTS specifically asks employers to report only jobs that they could fill within the next 30 days. Most ghost jobs, that is, jobs that employers don't intend to fill that soon or ever, either intentionally or by mistake, most of those shouldn't appear in JOLTS at all.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics stated that the JOLTS program doesn't use job listings for estimating job openings. While familiar with the term ghost jobs, the program believes it does not have any data related to the phenomenon.
Of course.
It's really hard as a job seeker to spot a ghost job. There are some signs. If you look at a job and you see that it's been open for over a month, sometimes it might say it's been open for many months. Some of the job boards will give an indication of how many people have applied for a job. And so if you see that a job has been open for 90 days and 10,000 people have applied, putting your application in, you're 10,001, you're a number, it's probably a ghost job.
So my firm uncovered that there's 1.7 million job openings on LinkedIn in 2023 as of the date of the article. that were older than a month. And these we've determined to be potential ghost jobs. They're not necessarily ghost jobs. And that is the difficulty with ghost jobs, is that they're hard to fully prove. So there are ghost jobs out there for sure. They're rising and they're a problem, but it's not always easy to completely pin them down. And companies don't want to admit that they're posting ghost.
How the fuck are you supposed to make it in the world? You're a fresh graduate from college. You're super in debt. You're trying to find a job that doesn't seem to exist. You're applying everywhere. No one's responding back. You're being told by the earlier or younger generation, older generation, excuse me, jeez, that you need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That back in my day, you just lack some character, grit, and determination. You need to apply harder and pull yourself up even harder than that. Because if I was in your day, at your age, I'd fucking kill it right now. You boys got soft hands. Yeah, it's like, hey, bro, do you see this economy right now? Do you see the world we're living in? If someone did the calculation, like income to housing ratio was something like 4x, so that whatever you were earning, it would take 4 times your salary to buy a house. In 19, God, I don't even remember what, 50s, 40s, something like that. And today that number is like 37x, something insane like that, with what an average American is making. Get the fuck out of here, bro. I make more money than I've ever made, than my father could ever dream of making. And post-pandemic, I got priced out of the home I was looking at. I saw it go up by, what was it? 500. That house went up by $500,000 in 2 years. Priced me out of the home I was wanting to buy. It's even higher now. It's gone up because the entire subdivision has been built out. The adjacent subdivision that was just dirt lots, that has all been built out by now. If I were to go look at what one of these houses costs with current inflation in 2024, I guarantee you that house is worth multiple millions of dollars. Completely priced me out. I was 1 year late, essentially. And millions of Americans were basically 1 year late on their dream. And now they're forced to rent for absurdly high prices, crushing their ability to even save up. And even with the savings they currently have, they can't afford the homes around them because it's run away from you. The American dream, what was the average? It said it's $3.4 million to have a white picket fence, wife at home, 2 kids, dog, house, car, all that shit. $3.4 million now. You need to be earning somewhere north of $300,000 a year. That's insane, bro. What the fuck? It's nowhere near the same as what the old timers used to have. Yeah. By the way, this bullshit has spread through pretty much most of the Western world, even here in Romania. My uncle was telling me before, had I come here earlier, the apartments I'm looking at, for example, say one of them cost $100,000, you could have bought it for $40,000. $40,000. Fully furnished apartment like what you see behind me. Wow. Hurts my heart.
Jobs because it looks bad for them. It's anti-employee, it's anti-job seeker, and it's very pro-company. So they want to be careful about that. So they're not going to openly admit that they're posting ghost jobs.
Another red flag for a job posting that's potentially a ghost job is when it's a vague job title. So for example, if they say we're looking for a video superstar, or we're looking for a project manager superstar, or they use some sort of identification that doesn't really say much, it could be an indication that they are just keeping a job opening available so they can attract talent and get a nice little pool of potential talent that they can pull from when and if they do need to hire.
Job boards are the most popular places for job seekers to find opportunities. Indeed, ZipRecruiter, and LinkedIn are among the most popular job boards in the US. However, there's growing concern that some of these platforms aren't doing enough to address the issue of fake job postings.
Job posting platforms can address ghost jobs. The first line of addressing them is taking full responsibility for them, even if they're...
Okay, forget that. Look at this stat real quick. Look how insane this is. So internal mobility, right? So being hired or promoted from within a company, 0.52%. This reminds me of that insane graph of showing how the advent of the internet and online dating completely eclipsed all other ways people meet. Like it used to be meeting through friends, through family, through work. And then once dating apps hit the scene, it's like a monstrosity was born where it basically eclipsed everything and made every other bar graph look tiny in comparison. This is insanity to me. Career sites and job boards basically is the only way you could get hired today, because all the rest of the percentage are fucking garbage. You're telling me internal mobility, guys. This is why they tell you go find a new job every 2 years. That'll probably accelerate to like once every year. I'm telling you, you're going to be on rotation, just constantly looking for work just to get a decent pay raise and keep you competitive in the market. Because this is look at this. Internal mobility is it's not even 1%. Oh, wow. I wonder before the internet what these numbers look like. Jeez, I've seen enough of this. This is so fucking stupid. Everything is upside down, dude. We live in a clown show. How do you explain to the average, ordinary working person that you need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, work super hard, work your way up the company, go to school, get in debt, find a job after, probably doesn't exist, and somehow through all this shit, you will afford yourself a house, a family, kids. By the way, don't forget health insurance. You're going to have to pay for that too. Oh yeah, have a gig on the side, because in order to reach the new American dream, you're probably going to need like 3-4 jobs. What? This is insane. Look at this guy. Nobody mentions the extreme psychological impact on people applying to hundreds of jobs and not receiving any answer or plain rejections. They're scamming, bro. These are scams. It shouldn't be ghost jobs. It should be fake jobs. Call it what it is. Damn, look at this. True story. I interviewed for several ghost jobs, and during the interview process, they asked candidates to propose solutions to a hypothetical problem. Turns out that problem was real, and they wanted to save money on hiring consultants. So just use free advice via interviews. What the hell? Holy crap. Anyone claiming it is to have your name be an option in the future is absolutely selling your data. Definitely. My son applied for over 200 jobs and only 5 contacted him for an interview. I'm guessing 90% were fake jobs. What a disgrace. This guy says it perfectly. Those jobs aren't scams. They're from real companies. They're just roles that don't exist or the company has no intention of hiring. And he says, oh, so they're scam. Yeah, no shit. Go to university, they said. Get a master's, they said. Now I'm 50K in debt, and they are listing fake jobs. Perfect. What an upside down clown world. Holy shit, man. What's your guys' experiences with trying to find jobs in this exact market right now? Jeez. Anyways, if you haven't signed up to the second channel, guys, we have conversations damn near daily there. Check out what life is like in Romania when I do post some walking talks. And join us in the private community for some conversations. They're pretty dope and could illuminate a way for your life forward because, man, this shit is wild. Take care, everybody. Links are all in the description below.